Hey guys, so this is a quick, hopefully, channel update where I'll be talking about where I've been for the last 3 months, where there hasn't been any videos or where no videos have been published, explaining format change I'm going to be doing for videos going forward, and then kind of a quick explanation of what's next for the channel slash me to give you a general idea. Uh, if you have no idea what this channel is, then this information is probably not the most relevant for you. Um, but I just wanted to keep people, the very few but still existent people that sometimes watch the channel, posted on what's going on. I don't know. I just kind of also like externalizing my thought process on these kind of things. I apologize for the quality, which is even worse than usual. I'm doing this at night and with another phone because the other one was out of battery, whatever. But so, whatever. All right. So, first question to answer, why didn't I post videos for the last 3 months? I kind of gave elements of answers in previous vlogs and videos. So I was in unemployment for 1 year, about a little bit less, which is when I had the time to start doing this channel. And I did say that I'd have to start looking for a job, so that's part of it. But also, basically, I stopped publishing consistently because I wanted to focus on another project towards the end of November, beginning of December. With another project I have mentioned in other videos too, the signature workshop. It's basically like a 1 hour presentation of my general philosophy on how can we find clarity of self and purpose despite existential uncertainty, which is kind of a central theme topic that I kind of cover, or that I want to help people with, and that I cover on this channel. So I was doing a whole program on that, which took me a decent amount of time, and I kind of wanted to finish that project. I did finish the first version, but I still need to work on it because I'm too perfectionistic. So I don't know when it will be ready, but that's the first reason why I kind of stopped doing videos. I wanted to kind of focus on that. Then there was the Christmas holidays, and so I was like, well, I'm not going to, work during. I was kind of wanted to do a break, especially because after that I had to start looking for a job, and so I kind of wanted to enjoy my last moments of full freedom, we'll say. And on top of that, and actually that probably the biggest reason was that I was kind of having a bit of a existential crisis. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I was kind of, staying in the theme of the of the channel and many videos I've talked about, which is kind of ironic because this happened to videos or like the second to last video I had published before the hiatus was about being consistent and how to stay consistent and manage commitments. But yeah, so basically I was kind of reconsidering how I was doing my content or my videos, and kind of I wanted, like, I wasn't satisfied with the current ways things were going, and I kind of wanted to make some tweaks, but I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do, and because I was uncertain, I didn't want to start, like I wanted to figure it out before I started doing new content that would follow this, new strategy. And so basically that's kind of the main reason I didn't publish any new content, because on top of all the other distractions, I was kind of unclear on how to proceed, and so that was a real blocker, I think. And then after that, in January, I had to start looking for a job, which took a decent amount of time. Then I found a job, and so for the last months or so, I had to start, adapting because it's a new job. I shifted careers from being a web developer, and now I work in a hotel as a night auditor. And so I also have to shift to the new rhythm of working night shifts, which I appreciate, but it's still like a kind of a decent big change. So I had a lot of stuff going on, and now I'm starting to find some order, or to, uh, whatever, get a handle, or reclaim some level of order in my life a little bit. And so I've got enough time to start getting back into the whole content creation thing because I still want to do it and I still want to do it fairly consistently, especially once I've kind of gone through this period of chaos and transition. Uh, that hasn't changed. I still want to publish content. Now, how I do that exactly might change, but yeah. So now we'll move on to the whole format change thing. So basically, why was I having this reconsideration, the second guessing, um, which is pretty common for me, but in this specific case with my videos, I had a couple of insatisfactions. One was that the process of making videos was pretty slow. It would take, I mean, I got better with time, but it would take me from, 5 hours to 3 hours or maybe 2 hours and a half at best, kind of, for a pretty dull and drab result. So, like the type of things you're seeing right now, where I mean, it's me in front of my boring couch. The image quality is pretty bad. And that's not necessarily a problem. Like there are some people who do talking head videos with like pretty poor quality that I enjoy like watching and listening to. Um, so I don't really have a problem with the existence of this type of content, but I just don't like making it myself. Like it creates some friction. I feel like in my personal creative deontology or yeah, philosophy, I don't know, but I just kind of like taking full advantage of the medium and keep it entertaining and interesting and kind of play with it. And I'm not really taking advantage of the video medium in itself. Like I'm not really doing anything interesting with the fact that I have a video. Like I'm just sharing thoughts, which and technically the best medium for that, at least for me, would be writing. If I just wanted to, clearly share my thoughts, that's the best way because well, I kind of stumble on my words and I'm not the most eloquent person on one hand, and then I don't really use any interesting things you can do with video. And there are reasons for that, just because I don't have enough time. Or, well, I'm making the choice not to invest all the time I would need to do cool things with video, and that's not necessarily what I want to be investing my time in for this type of content. But I'm not. But then I would spend a lot of time like even just recording videos would take a decent amount of time because there was like a lot of the recording I would not end up using because I'd bungle it up and then I have to cut it at editing. I would spend way too much time editing, or at least like 1 hour of editing per video, just removing basically fumbles. Then with time, I started basically having my outline, and so I'd memorize a little bit chunk of my outline, talk it, and then there'd be like a blank when I'm kind of looking at my outline. And then I have to edit all those parts out. I do a little bit of color grading, which I mean, because I'm too perfectionistic, frankly, like with the quality of lighting and video. I don't know that it serves any purpose. I do audio editing too a little bit. Normally, I already have a decent mic, so it's not really super necessary. But I do some EQ stuff, adding a gate and blah blah blah. And so all of that would like I enjoy actually editing, but I enjoy doing fun stuff like like adding like doing things that are actually interesting. Like there's like some pizzazz or something. Just chopping off boring pieces of video, like watching over me talking and then like being okay. I fumbled this part. I need to cut it. And doing that for an hour, it's not awful, but it's not riveting. So, anyways, I wasn't super satisfied with the whole thing. And that led me to start considering different avenues, different ways of doing things. Because, like, when it comes to YouTube, at least, the idea is to have a way where I can create content that's pretty light to do, it's pretty quick to do, and that I can kind of have some interaction with an audience, and like people can watch it or not watch it, but basically that gives me some feedback of what people want to watch and whether they like it or not. So I kind of get some feedback with the external world. And it's kind of a way to kind of start building an audience a little bit and test out ideas. That's kind of the main point. So that's why I don't want to spend like a bajillion years on each videos, especially since I've got a lot of other stuff going on. But yeah, with the current format I was using, I was spending a lot of time for results which were meh, or it depends. Like I think most of the ideas. I don't know. I don't know that I convey them in the absolute perfect way that is possible. But overall, on the general ideas I share, I think it's fine. I mean, like I'm not like it's. I think it's decent content, or at least good enough for my standard. But yeah, the format wasn't great. So, anyways, I think beginning of January, I got the idea for a different type of content where it would also be pretty quick to do. But then I would just remove the video component, right, and just focus on audio and make audio logs. And for a while, I've been, flirting with the idea of starting a Substack. I've had, or I've started a blog for a decent amount of time by now, but I don't really have any engagement with an audience. I don't know, well, I guess I've got some analytics, but I can't really see how much people read it. Almost nobody reads it because it's just based on SEO for some obscure niche website. Um, yeah, and I don't know who, there's no like or commenting features. So it's not great for that whole aspect. And so I thought, Substack would be an interesting way to do written content, which I enjoy doing, and I think it's probably what I'm naturally the best at. Um, so yeah, I was considering Substack, and I thought, oh, Substack is very multi-format, so you can also do audio logs if you want on there. I thought that might be an idea. So I started experimenting with this whole creating audio logs, which basically the same as what I'm doing now, except I don't film myself, I just record the audio. But then I talked with some advisors, or one advisor who told me that it's probably a better idea for me to do those logs on YouTube if I can, because I already have a small, but still have somewhat of an audience, or and some people watch the videos. At least I do get some engagement, some feedback, even if it's modest. And whereas if I started a Substack, I'd start back from scratch. So that's true. But in order to do that, I would need to make them somewhat of a video. So ideally include some visuals, or um, and so that's I started experimenting with turning my logs into videos. And so basically, it's just still an audio log, except I kind of the easy way for me to do this is I just create a thumbnail that kind of represents the idea of the video, and it's also the backdrop. So basically, it's just me speaking. There's just audio, and then the image of the video is just one static image, which is the same as a thumbnail, and just kind of summarizes or represents the general topic I'm talking about. And so that's the new format I'm going to be trying. I've talked about doing small experiments in previous videos, and that's what I did for this change here too, because I want to know that I'm capable of doing this thing consistently, and that I don't hate doing it, right? So I wanted to try it out, and so I created 3 audio logs, and then a fourth one where I did the whole process as a audio video log directly, to kind of get a feel for whether I think this is sustainable, whether I like it. And I do like it. It's quicker. I mean, I'm still taking 1 hour and 40 minutes on average. I probably can reduce that time. I've changed some of the tools I use to go faster. And yeah, I've just kind of changed my whole workflow a little bit. But yeah, so I like this new format because it's got a couple of perks. There is no camera stress, I guess, where I don't have to focus on watching a camera. And also another thing that's good about that is that I can just focus on my outline. So when I'm recording my audio logs, I'm just reading my outline. Well, I mean, I'm like scanning my outline and using it to kind of ground what I'm talking about, and kind of keep track of what I'm supposed to say. Which when I was doing videos, I would either have to memorize everything, but then I just start panicking and just forgetting, or I need to make breaks where I'm basically reading my stuff and then I start talking again, and then I need to chop it off at the editing. Now that's another benefit of doing just audio, is I can just do it in one go, so no more editing or very light editing. So that means that just like this video, I'm just doing it one take. There'll be a lot of little hiccups and bungling of pronunciation or fumbling a word, Hopefully that's not too much of an issue for people. I guess in some way it's like more authentic, because I'm not, pretending I'm, I don't fumble by cutting everything out. Uh, but yeah, it's just faster, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's like a massive issue. And also it forces me to get actually better at, talking without using a lot of filler words. I'm not that, definitely it needs a lot of improvement. And yeah, being better at, elocution and stuff like that. Also, I get less background noise because, well, for logistical reasons. But when in order to do these videos, I need to have a light source. And in order to have a light source, I need to be closer to the street, which means I'm all constantly interrupted by sirens and stuff. I mean, like, it's not super loud, but it does parasite the audio. So I need to do more breaks. Since I'm just recording audio now, I can just, like, hole up in my room and not get disturbed. And yeah, overall there's less friction. I'm kind of happier with the result, with the amount of time invested for quality of result. So mm. Also I feel like, um, well, I kind of changed the way I think about how I create content, but I kind of place less artistic value in just like an audio log when I'm kind of trying to um, answer questions that people might have. Basically, kind of try to be more audience focused, also a bit in the way I create content. And so, yeah, this idea of kind of trying to, like, give some answers to a specific type of question or problem, it feels more impermanent. Like, if you were talking with someone or different people, right, and you were having a similar conversation where you're helping them with a similar type of topic, like, for me, there's no friction with the fact that I'm kind of repeating myself, or I might do it several times and improve. Whereas when I'm more in an artistic mode, I kind of try to do, a crystallized version that never changes, or it's like the ultimate version, so to speak. And so when I'm doing videos, that kind of pops up more. And so, yeah, there's more friction because my video are not near that. They're definitely not matching that level of quality of, like, it's good enough to stand on its own forever and never be uh, modified or updated. So yeah, anyways, I'll try to keep this short because it's already a pretty long video. So what's next for the channel? So I already did 4 V audio logs. um, in order to do the whole experimentation process. So I think I'm going to be dropping them soon. I'll probably schedule this video. I don't know exactly when I'll be publishing it, but this video and another one, and I'll probably schedule all the other ones in pretty short succession, because they're all kind of related and interconnected to an extent. I mean, you can watch each one just on its own, but since they're all related, it's better to just have them released at a similar time. I'm going to be aiming at, 1 video a week if I can, but I don't make any promise, especially now I'm still in a kind of chaotic period of finding my footing in a new routine. I still would like to get back to written content. It's been a while since I've posted my last blog post, like a long while, way more than 3 months, probably maybe something like 6 months. I didn't check, but a long time. And I do like writing, and I think it's probably what I'm the best at currently, or like where I can create the best quality of output. But I'm not exactly sure how. I'm still in the, figuring out the existential, figuring out how the hell I'm going to do that, and also how am I going to schedule the time to do it. So sometime, that's kind of something that's in the background that I need to figure out. I also need to keep working on the signature workshop to have a, well, like a first version. I can actually start touring and working on other different stuff, because the whole impetus behind, like, this whole change of job and all is to start working, like, on my own business. I mean, we'll see how. I don't have any expectation of making a lot of income from it for a decent amount of time, but that's kind of, I'd like to move towards starting building, um, like a business where I help people, um, with consultation, figure out, better clarity of stuff and purpose with, by assisting with structured introspection, basically, if I summarize very quickly. Um, so yeah, and so there's a lot of stuff I need to work on in order to get that slowly started. And on top of that, I also, as part of this whole transition, on top of the new job, I need to find a new apartment eventually to better fit my new income. So that will be another big project, which might inject chaos into the whole process. So we'll see. So it's still, we're still kind of in a murky transition phase, and I'm still basically experimenting. I haven't found my holy grail of content creation, I guess, or a system and structure and workflow. So things might, there might still be hiccups, hiatus, and switch arounds. But yeah, we'll figure it out, and I'll keep you posted. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you could find something of value out of this video, and hopefully you'll enjoy the new types of video. I hope the format is, works well, and that people enjoy the content, hopefully. So I guess we'll see. Don't hesitate to give your feedback. And that's about it for this video. I just wanted to get this update quickly out with not too much regard for quality, just so I can kind of get moving and start producing content again. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and see you later. Bye.